Hey there, welcome to another episode of Legends with Elroy. Now this story starts as Billy Bob was taking a little bath. As this bath, I was taking a bath all about a Saturday night. Rabbit. Someone's at the door. So Billy Bob opened the door and he looked out. And there before him was Stanley the skunk and Porky. Now Porky was a porcupine. A lot of people say, Elroy, was he a pig? No, he was not a pig. He was a porcupine. But I digress. And Stanley said, Billy Bob, I need your help. As you know, me and Sally have a very nice garden. And we have gardenias and roses and peonies. And it's so beautiful and it smells so wonderful. And right at this point, Porky was like, yeah, but you can't eat any of it. I mean, you could probably eat some of it, but not like with croissants. And Stanley said, Porky, stop interrupting. Porky was like, And Stanley said, well, here's the thing, Billy Bob. We have an issue with ants. They're all over the place. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but they're just all over the place. And they're destroying all of our flowers because they get in there and they eat all the roots and then the flowers die. And we've tried a lot of things. We tried that whole thing where you put like one anthill on another anthill and they're supposed to like fight, but that didn't work either. So we thought we'd come see if you had any ideas. Billy Bob said, that's a tough one. Wait a second. Last time I was in the kingdom visiting the king, I noticed that there was a sign up for, what was his name? I think it was Anthony. And he's supposed to be some kind of ant wizard. Or, like exterminator. He's not actually a wizard. He doesn't have like the hat with the staff. But he's supposed to be very good at taking care of pests. And Stanley said, well, that sounds like a great idea. Where can we find him? And Billy Bob said, well, let's go find a poster. So they made their way into the city. And there they found a poster, and it gave the directions. They were quite confusing directions, because it was like, once you go down the street, take a left after you get to the green plant. The plant wasn't green anymore. They didn't update the directions. That's something people forget. They think we can just put directions down and things will always be the same. But see, the plant was not green, it had died. And they kept going, and they were supposed to take a right at the building with the red bricks. Well, someone had painted the bricks, so, there you go. Directions. But anyways, after working for quite a while and finally figuring out where they were going, they got there. And they knocked on the door. And out stepped quite an interesting creature, quite a good-sized creature, with a very, very, very long nose. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking elephant. No, not an elephant. You see, those are much bigger. These are smaller, but still a good-sized creature, but they have a very long nose. And he said, my name is Anthony. What can I do for you all? And Stanley said, Anthony, my name is Stanley the skunk. And this is Porky the porcupine. And that is Billy Bob the Knight. And Anthony said, yes, I see. Wait, who's Porky? There are only two of you here. And they looked off, and Porky was over at the bakery. And he was ordering different pastries and stuff like that. And he waved at him. He's like, don't worry about me, guys. I'll be with you in a minute. This stuff's so good. I love Porky. He's always eating, But anyways, they said, see, Anthony, we need your help. And that is when Stanley explained the ant problem. And Anthony said, that is a problem. But you see, I'm what you call an anteater. So that's not really a big problem for me. I mean, I do enjoy the occasional pomegranate, or maybe a grapefruit, or maybe just a wet leaf. I don't like drinking out of cups. Leaves are much better. But there's nothing quite like an anthill. Tastes quite good. And it's my business, so I get paid. Stanley was like, man, that's really a pretty smart idea. What's that saying about never working a day in your life? I guess that's it. Anyways, can you help me? And Anthony said, yes. But first, why don't you guys show me the way? I would like to talk to Billy Bob. You see, like most other people, Anthony had heard of Billy Bob. And he was like, that guy's pretty cool. And he wanted to get to know him better. So he had a lot of questions. It turns out that he was good friends with the dwarves. That Billy Bob had helped with the laughing curse. Quite interesting, you know. And also good friends with Benny. Being an anteater, he kind of got around a lot, so he knew a lot of people. He even knew Silas the Slug. But anyways, after talking for quite a while and having a very good conversation, they arrived at Stanley's house. And that is when it was time. And Anthony said, okay guys, first things first, I'm gonna need it to be quiet. Okay, that's been long enough. Now I need someone to serenade me with the ancient anteater song. Turns out that porcupines are usually really good at this. And Porky was like, I am a very good singer, but I don't actually have the lyrics to this ancient song. And also, incidentally, Sally said that she has some lemon bread inside, and I was just gonna go take a look at it and make sure it's safe to eat. And Anthony said, Porky, I need your help. I said, nah. People always pull you in right when there's food around. So, he said, Porky, I need you to sing. Porky said, but I don't know this song. He said, make it up. Porky said, oh, well, I can do that. Okay, so I guess, okay, here we go. It's time to eat some ants. Come on, let's all go dance. Time to eat some ants. Come on, let's all go dance. We're gonna save the flowers, the gardenias, roses too. It's time to eat some ants, so let's all go and dance. Yay! He did quite a bit of dancing, and everybody liked the song quite a bit. Anthony was even doing a little toe tap thing. He said it wasn't anything like what he expected, but it worked. It got him really ready to go, and he took care of all the ants. And then Anthony said, Billy Bob, I have to say that I'm pretty impressed with your friends. You guys really know what you're doing. And that Porky guy, when he's not eating, he's pretty helpful. Porky didn't hear it. He was off eating the lemon bread. He left as soon as the dancing thing was over. And Billy Bob said, Anthony, it was a pleasure working with you. If you ever need anything from me, you just let me know. And Anthony said, well, there is one thing. You see, I was born an anteater, just as my father before me. But I've always wondered if I could be a knight. The first anteater knight, with my helm on my head, a shield by my side, and a broadsword. But it's a silly thought. But, Billy Bob, could I try your helmet on? And so, Billy Bob said, better than that, you can try all the armor on. It didn't really fit because, he was an anteater, but it didn't matter because Anthony had always wanted to do it, and he looked And Sally brought out a mirror and he looked and he said, "I look quite amazing." And he was very happy. It actually turned out that soon after that in the city, Anthony had some armor made for himself, and he kind of viewed himself as what maybe we would think these days as a modern superhero, Anthony the Anteater. He had like a hidden identity and everything. But for some reason, he put like on the sign, "Anthony the Anteater, who is a knight. But don't worry, he's not really a knight. I'm a knight." I don't know. I think he was trying to throw people off, but everybody kind of knew he was a knight. But anyways, it was quite an important time for Anthony and really meant a lot to him. Also, it was important for the rest of his life because the whole night thing. But anyways, well, after this, they all went their separate ways. And Billy Bob went to sleep. What was that? Someone's at the door. But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode of Legends with Elroy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya.